Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Train your body for physical confrontation. Now, I'm going to tell you what, you get a lot of guys, right? Even though I always talk about body game, they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to talk about it, right? And because they like, well, I don't want to train for women and all of that. Okay, cool. But you should be training and be at some level of training and body strength for a physical confrontation. A physical confrontation. Because look, let's be real. A lot of that's happening out here. A lot of that is happening. Like some people coming at you with a gun, but sometimes they just getting in your face, and you gotta be prepared for it. Like every man. Unless you going, even if you're not taking martial arts, which, you know what, if you can, I would recommend, especially if your physical strength isn't like top par, at least take some martial art. Be able to like know how to throw a different punch, kick, whatever. Also, maybe take boxing or something, right? Now, if the boxing gym in my neighborhood actually stay open, I say I was going to like join them up just so I can like safely throw some punches. And even if you can't, like, do some katas. Now, kata is just imaginary fighting. Any martial artists know that. Imagine you like wherever you at, do some shadow boxing or something like that. Do some shadow boxing. Imagine yourself actually confronting somebody. And then, make sure whatever you do, you still got to train your body. Whatever you do, you still got to train your body. Indeed, if you train your body to an extent, like those muscles, yeah, they turn on women and everything else, but a lot of guys will think twice about stepping to you. Like when my gym was still open, there was a guy in there, and he's a white guy, real muscular. I mean, this dude could throw up about 350, 400, right? And he was telling me about how somebody was about to start something with him on a job and then really looked at him. And it was like, nah, he backed down, Because sometimes if you do that, but if, people will look at you, they don't want to start it. And then I always told that story, right? I always told that story before. It was when I was working at this gym. It was in Marlow Heights, Maryland, right? Marlow Heights. I know it's kind of rough. Hey, I don't know what it is now, but at the time, it had some roughness to it. It was an Olympus gym. And I remember the night it was snowing. And while it was started snowing out, there were these two young guys started hanging around one of our members' nice car. And the member saw it. Now, the member, he was a dude who threw up 400 pounds. That dude, and it was snowing out. My man went out there with nothing on but a tank top, and his regular long gym pants. And he basically told him to stay the fuck away from his car, and he moved away. Now, and he just came back in. He said, "Look, I just let them know what they had to deal with." Now, what was interesting, these two kids would later. That same evening, maybe about 20 minutes later, robbed this Chinese store that was in the same mini mall with the gym. So that means this dude out there basically punked, just with his muscles punked, a couple guys who had guns on them. So it's just like, man. And, but it was like he just showed them. And see, out here now, we got to remember, sometimes one of the things, and, when I talk about the house of the man, one of the pillars is the warrior. The warrior. And, it's not just a thing of sitting around just talking, but you got to be ready for a physical thing. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to go to somebody's jaw. Or at least defend yourself against somebody ready to go to your jaw. I mean, because seriously, we're not civil. Seriously, if you got people shooting each other out here, there's just as many like will try to punk you on another way. Sometimes you might, depending on where you at, somebody might just bump into you, try to start some shit, right? Try to start some stuff. So you gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared to go there with somebody. And it's like, I'm not saying that as, be braggadocious or start any trouble, but it's just a reality out here. It really is. So what you want to do, one of the things, one, you got to train yourself in such a way just to be able to take a pain, to take a hit. That's a basic thing. Like if somebody gets you and they drop you to the ground, to be able to take the pain. That's a basic thing. You got to be able to fall. But then on another level, you have strength. Like if somebody coming at you, especially in martial arts, know this, at least be able to block the punch, and then have enough strength. Because believe it or not, there's some people that can hit somebody cold in the jaw, and the person just looking at them. So what kind of arm strength do you have there? What kind of strength do you have in your arms, in your fist and everything? Because boxers and stuff, I haven't seen as much with martial artists, but boxers and stuff, they will weight train as well. Seriously, if you checking out the Creed films or something, he's doing as much weight training as anything else. This is very important. It's very important. And then, also, you train your body not just for strength, but you training it for endurance. You never know when, in a fight, most fights, honestly, may take a few seconds to a few minutes. Like all that movie stuff where they fight for a half an hour or something. Yeah, those are movies. But you still got to have it, because if you ever in a physical confrontation, you're expending a lot of energy. And, the person might just be able, if you having trouble breathing or anything like that, you don't have the endurance, shoot, even if you bigger than the person, they just wait you out. They just wait you out. That happens with some boxers, too, who are not used to fighting in long rounds. Like, that's how they get some knockout artists. And just stretch out the fight, because they putting all that energy in. But you want to still be ready. One, being ready on such a level. Like, I'll use myself for an example. A lot of people take one look at me when they see me in person, and they're like, oh, wait, you bigger than I thought you were. And that, or more muscular. That stops a lot of stuff right there. People think about it. And seriously, you got to deal with that. That's why you can get two different people walk down the street. One gets robbed and the other one just walk past the people. Because the one who just walked past, that person look like, hey, you might be able to get in something, but they're going to give you some pain back. And especially in this time, because when things get crazy, it gets more violent. People get on shorter tempers. And a man has to be, our main thing, let's get back to the warrior thing. The warrior ain't just somebody who's sitting around talking or sitting around going to call the police or something. You might have to handle it. The police might not be able to come soon enough. All right? And then, you might have to deal with it. So, like, a man needs to physically train. And like I say, he don't have to go to the gym, but at least take a martial art or something. Join a boxing gym, something like that. And if for whatever reason can't do that, shoot, shadow box. Do that kata, where you imagine yourself going to somebody's jaw, their nose, something like that. I know when I shadow box and stuff, actually, I'm not big on hooks. I'm not big on hooks. Because somebody can actually, if they see a hook coming, one is easy to block. A hook is easy to block. From my perspective, it's easy to block. But then also, if they get a hook to their jaw, if they can turn their jaw a certain way, it doesn't have as much of an impact. But unless they really fast, it's easy to go to their nose and stuff and really disorientate them with a jab. That's my main thing. But anyway, right? Train your body. Get ready for it. Train your body physically, for strength, power, but also endurance-wise, so you can even last. And seriously, there's real talk out here. Yeah, I know you might have being stay with a concealed weapon and all of that, but you never know when somebody run up you the wrong way. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.